So, yeah, this is something that I've been kind of excited to do for a while. We are going to be exploring pretty much the entire library of the Neo Geo Pocket Color. Although, probably not for a bit after this. The specific reason why I wanted to start today, besides for just being able to check it out, is, because today is February 22nd, as you know, 2022, which means it's all 2. Which made me immediately think of the Sonic Tuesday, and well, we played Sonic 2 a while ago, so might as well play the closest game to it, which is Sonic Pocket Adventure. So yeah, this is gonna be a good time. I don't really have a special layout for this. I actually have an idea where to get one from, but I will ensure that a certain artist isn't busy, so in the meantime, you can enjoy that in my handheld like sprite there by Flutter Sprite in the bottom corner. Very out of that one, honestly. And hello, Petra. It's good to see you. Everyone is doing well. If I can actually get the window to show. Hi, Linelia. It was showing. Okay, there we go. Hold on, let me. Finally, a test. Okay. There we go. Now it doesn't look way too. Okay. So let's actually reset this first so we can cut the proper intro without me moving stuff around. For those who weren't around at the point of this game coming out, you may be wondering, hey, why is there a Sonic game on a non-Sega system? Well, Sega had stopped making games for their own handheld at this point, but SNK realized that it could be a potentially good market there. So in 1998, they had released the black and white Neo Geo Pocket in Japan, which had 10 games on it. But then the following year, they released the Neo Geo Pocket Color, which, as you see, added color. Really, the main point of the system was that SNK could make good ports of their own fighting games, because, you know, that was some of their big stuff. Yeah. So they consider it 16-bit because I do believe it's running like a 16-bit Toshiba processor. Although sprites are generally pretty monochromatic. Like you can see. It did have support for about a couple years into 2000, 2001, before SNK's bankruptcy, because it just wasn't able to make a dent against the massive Game Boy family. Yeah, this one, yeah, basically 4 colors per sprite, including transparency, and like, you'll see especially in the fighting games, a lot of the sprites there tend to just be like 1 color, and then white and transparency, so... You know, Sonic actually looks pretty well there. And yeah, this was also the first Sonic platformer, possibly the first Sonic game even, because I don't know when Sonic Shuffle came out compared to this. That was released afterwards. That was released after Sonic Adventure, and as you can see, he's sporting his modern style. Another thing of note is that the Neo Geo Pocket Color could actually connect to the Dreamcast through a special link cable that could be used to upload data between certain games. I'm not sure if Sonic officially supported that, but I know like Capcom versus SNK and SNK versus Capcom could trade with each other, and yeah, pretty neat stuff. So if you go to the options room here, so we got time trials, we got a link, and then we got the puzzle room, and I'll get more into that later. Game option doesn't have much. We can change the difficulty. You can actually toggle whether or not spending 10 minutes on a level will kill you. You can set the default amount of lives, and auto power off, I assume, is just an idle power off thing to save battery. But yeah, let's get into the game right here. The Next Leap Forward. This was actually developed by a team at SNK, who would eventually go on to found Dimps, whose games I honestly think are of varying quality, but hey, their start was pretty good anyway, both in this and especially in Sonic Advance 1. You notice there are some rings down there because there is a secret. All you gotta do here, go up against the wall, spin dash, and hope you don't fall off the edge there, because yes, that actually has happened to you. So yeah, I just collected a tile on the ground. That is one of the puzzle pieces that you can eventually unlock to get some nice artwork. I just missed that one. I want to get it, actually. Oh, that's a bridge that's being obscured. Yeah, and hello, Fel. Sorry, I didn't greet you because I was too busy talking. Yeah, I hope everyone's doing well tonight. So the game's levels are heavily based on Sonic 2, with the music usually taken from Sonic 3, except not this track. This track is actually taken, from Sonic Jam, the Sonic World portion, which has a little 3D, place where you can run around in and do missions and stuff. So, it's interesting. It's honestly a nice, touch that they put that song, in there in the beginning, but mostly the music tracks. Yeah, oh. I do want to get rings because, well, this isn't gonna be a 100% run in either puzzles or special stages, but I want to try, at least. Yeah, I think I'm gonna reset. Hold on. That was not quite as good of a run. Oh, hey, at least you could see this very cute bias screen. Not as cute as Analia, of course, but still very cute. Yeah, like, compared to the Game Gear games, I mean, this doesn't have any of the parallax scrolling, so, like, it doesn't look nearly as good. You know, it's kind of got static backgrounds, but it plays better than the, Game Gear games. At least from my experience. I haven't played too much of those. I do want to play, Triple Trouble, at least at some point. That seems interesting. Not quite sure about the other ones. I think most of them seem alright, with, like, the exception of 2. But yeah, the mechanics are... Okay, I missed... Oh wait, I actually want to go on there. Unfortunately, there are no... Yeah, I can't do it with the speed shoes, I have too much movement. Okay, there we go. I can get up there, I don't think it's worth it. But yeah, there are some nice alternate paths and stuff. Unfortunately, there are no bonus stages, like in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, when you get 50 rings and you go to a signpost. I mean, you can go to a checkpoint, you get the rings. Unfortunately, not in this game, but there are still soul stages. Hold on. Aw, that would be very cute, honestly. I just passed my chance there. I mean, I guarantee you I'm not going to 100% this game. Also, another interesting weird thing is that the Game Gear games, they only had 6 Chaos Emeralds. Like, for whatever reason, they just decided to keep that as standard throughout that entire series. Maybe because they didn't want people getting... Yeah, okay, I figured there'd be something here. Maybe because they knew that they couldn't get Supersonic working. Fortunately, this does kind of start the trend of not quite getting that. Also, you have this thing, which is from Sonic CD, so pretty nice. Ah, hello, Garby. Welcome. You're doing well tonight. It's good to see you. And Sonic is the only playable character together. Yeah, I've definitely been enjoying this game. So, if you have played Sonic Advance, this boss may seem quite familiar because, well, it's taken from this game. It's basically the drill boss just with a hammer instead. And you don't want to get more than 2 hits on. Also, pay attention to how Robotnik looks. And here he's got the same kind of... Oh, I forgot he does that attack. I thought he just did the bouncing one. Oh, okay. Because in this game, Robotnik has his sweater that he had on in the classic games, but, he may be sporting his adventure look later. Not sure, why particularly they did that, but who knows where they were, drawing the graphics from, although... Also different than Sonic 3, it's more like Sonic 2. Yeah, when you crush these capsules, you don't quite do a pose right away, but then you do so. So, then we get to Totally Not Chemical Plant with Secret Plant Zone. With Angel Island Act 2 playing, because we didn't get that before. I would have expected, I don't know, Hydro City or Flying Battery. Maybe we'll get that later, but... Yeah, also those, two-way boosters from Chemical Plant do return here. Those, Dimps did really like those. And they tended to get used a lot later on, to the point of almost becoming a meme, but... At least here it makes sense, because, they were from Chemical Plant Zone originally, or at least that's what they're pretty much only featured in Classic Sonic. So... Oh no, I got crushed! Okay, that's kind of funny. I somehow got crushed, by that weird hitbox. Gotta be more careful on these, I guess. As far as, like, showing a collaboration, between... I should try to get up there when I can. Between, oh, I guess there was, like, a puzzle piece. I don't know what was over there. Between, Sega and SNK, I think this was definitely a really good idea. Also, just to show what the, Neo Geo Pocket Color could do, and, give Sonic fans a reason to go for that handheld. Hello, Cardcaptor Karen. Hope you're doing well. Let's see. Oh no! Bad timing. And I'm on my last life already. I mean, this is really just the Sonic 2 with Sonic 3 and Knuckles music. If you want to get technical. There isn't much from any other Sonic game, although there are sometimes songs or gimmicks that are taken directly. Oh yeah, I mean that makes a lot of sense, honestly. Like I've been watching both in video and in article form, like just been looking at some of the Game Boy. Like the later ports, usually by Takara. And some of those are good, some of those aren't, like the King of Fighters 95 I don't think was, but some of the later KOF games might have been. And Street Fighter Alpha on the Game Boy Color, which, yeah, weirdly they put out Alpha 1 in 1999, after Alpha 3 was already out. Not sure what was up with that, specifically. Yeah, fortunately, you can continue right from the last zone you died in, which is also useful if you wanna, you know, if you wanna actually go for the special stages. Yeah, but like, SNK vs. Capcom is probably my favorite game on here. on the system, honestly. I guess I don't know how I'm gonna do this retrospective challenge thing, but if I decide to end at a specific game, it might be that. Unfortunately, there's no good way to, like, even if I had an original system, there's actually no good way to capture footage from it, because there was no, like, TV out or anything, from what I can tell. But, oh yeah, what was I? Oh yeah, I was talking about the, but the fighting games are certainly much better. I mean, the system, both in terms of its actual, tech specs and then the controller design, as Karen mentioned, it has a clicky, kind of thumbstick similar to the Neo Geo CD, perhaps. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you definitely could, I feel like. You could just make one out of there, but I don't know actually, maybe not. I don't know how the serial interface on the system works. So, maybe it's harder than I think. But yeah, there we go. He does the pose like in Sonic 3 Knuckles. But yeah, Thunderstorm is another interesting handheld that I'd certainly like to look at some point, but not in full, especially because a lot of those games were with a Japanese-only handheld, so a lot of those games are entirely in Japanese. While with the Neo Geo Pocket, there are some that are all in Japanese, but a surprising amount of them ended up having, like, European releases for whatever reason. Like, SNK in Europe just supported the system all the way through the end, even after it was basically discontinued in the US. So it still got some releases. Or at least in the UK. I'm not sure about all of Europe, but we're here. Okay, yeah, now we got Hydro City Zone. And yes, I will always call it Hydro City Zone. That is my video game hot take. Yeah, but WonderSwan emulation, I imagine, could be weird just because of the whole switching aspect ratio thing. That's a good question. They might have. I think sources are a bit conflicting, and honestly, if I do follow through with my project of, like, actually documenting everything I play and putting up on a website, I'd be sure. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Yeah, like, I'm saying, Nintendo was different in Europe and everything, but, like... But SNK was also just in a lot of financial trouble then, so I'm just not sure why that, particularly named that. And I'll probably get to that too when we have a very short look at all the pachinko games, because there are a few of them on, and they are from a particular company that had a bit to do with that, so... You know, your SNK history, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But... But yeah, like, I know certainly, in terms of consoles and stuff, because the UK especially, but a lot of, okay, here's a unique boss, actually. Can't attack it from the bottom, but I'm trying to figure out how to get onto here. Oh. You know, this is before, oops, them started not quite figuring out how to do boss design, or at least not making it as good as it used to be, because you couldn't quite constantly hit Robotnik. Like, even in this boss where you can't hit it from the bottom, it's still basically like a classic Sonic boss. But I don't know. Oh, yeah. But, like, starting, well, Sonic Advance 2 had the whole gimmicky running away from the boss thing that really didn't work, in my opinion. And I don't think many people like that. Oops. Yeah, like, this boss, well, then starting in Sonic Advance 3, and even, like, moving on to the Sonic Rush series and stuff, the bosses are really just waiting for the particular opportunity to hit Robotnik, and then doing so. So it's just kind of a lot of waiting around. Yeah, this definitely does have a bit of a vibe of, like, the 8-bit Sonic games. Game Gear ones, I tend to call them. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, honestly, a few years ago, I played through Sonic Advance 1, and I really enjoyed that. Like, I just decided, okay, I'm gonna revisit Sonic Advance 1 and see how much I like it, and, like, that game you can pretty much just power through in one sitting if you want to, anyway. Then Sonic Advance 2, where's he gonna fall? Okay, there we go. Yeah, I know what you meant, because you said 2D Sonic. Like, the later stage in that game just feel like they're working against you, honestly. Because just like, oh, you've got trying to go fast? Well, here's a bottomless pit. Here's spikes. Here's the thing that just completely reverses your momentum. You know. So, like, that kind of thing. But yeah, Sonic Advance 1, I think, is, like, my favorite of the, original Imps games. I mean, I do enjoy Sonic Rush, but it does have a different feel to it. Yeah, anyway, as Garrett was saying, a bit earlier than this, like a decade earlier, so computers were quite popular in the UK, especially in Europe in general. But like, by the end of the 80s, consoles had started to go in there, and really, Sega kind of lucked out into getting a good distribution deal, because their original one might have even been through, like, Tonka Toys, actually. Wasn't working out, but then the one they had with, was it Virgin? I don't remember now what the, distributor was. That kind of helped, and as a result, the Master System did hang around in Brazil longer than it was supported in the US or Japan. And then meanwhile, Nintendo didn't have much marketing, so... Hey, I'm like pressing down, but it's... Okay, there we go. Yeah, you gotta have, You gotta, yeah, I think if you just hold forward. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, this is Casino Night, but it's playing actually the bonus stage song from Sonic 3. Oh, and I got crushed by weird hitboxes again. Yeah, basically, so... Yeah, Nintendo wasn't quite the powerhouse that they were over in the US, or even just being the unequivocal first place in Japan for a while. The PC Engine certainly dug into that by the end of the 80s. Which honestly, just to go off on a bit of a tangent here, some people like wonder about the Sega CD, just besides for the idea of a CD console listing in general. Like, the hardware of the Sega CD was specifically designed to... Okay, gotta be careful. It's specifically designed to cover all the weaknesses that the Mega Drive had. Because, like, oh yeah, first of all, okay, NEC has a CD-based console, so now we need to make one right there, especially the investors and stuff. And then, you know, doesn't have as good color as its competitors, so we're just gonna put a whole bunch more color in there. Doesn't have as good PCM sound capabilities. We'll add in a custom PCM chip and that sort of thing. And yeah, I think it was honestly more just the high price and the general software titles that were being pushed in the West that doomed the Sega CD. There's plenty of great stuff, honestly, like Lunar and Snowfeed and... well, certainly Sonic CD, which I think has one of the best aesthetics of any video game ever made. Stuff like that, so... it's certainly understandable why companies wanted to get in on that one. Just because gaming was like the most stable way of CD multimedia. Really, a lot of the other stuff just did not work out, and for reasons that, well, really the market wasn't there. Yeah, that's true. I mean, it did sort of okay in Japan, but also the Mega Drive itself didn't do way too well in Japan. Yeah, and the 32X, it was just a weird idea, like, it seemed okay on paper at first until you actually thought about it and like, wait, Sega's already developing a 32-bit system, so there wasn't any need for that. But yeah. Although Sophie's just remind me, I do want to do like a Wolf Team retrospective at some point. Where I like start with Valis, even if it might just be the PC Engine version, which was developed by Riot. That wasn't... oh, okay, we're starting in one of the later stages. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do well here. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna... I'm also not sure if, like, is this music original to this? Because it isn't the Sonic 3 Blue Spheres music, and, yeah, basically that was the problem, is the Saturn was already being made, and, like, there wasn't really gonna be much opportunity for a budget, 32-bit 3D system. You might as well just buy a Saturn eventually. That was just kind of ill-timed, there. Yes, Linalia, you can pet the Wolf Team. I mean, they're still sort of around as Namco Tales Studio, because after Tales of Fantasia, that's what they started doing most of the time. Except for the developers that split off to make Tri-Ace, who developed Star Ocean and Valkyrie Profile. Valkyrie Profile is another game that I want to play at some point, although I'm not sure about streaming RPGs. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, Fell. Although, I'm not sure. I'm not sure specifically, like, who at Atari Corp thought that, like, the Jaguar was the best idea ever, and, like, let's just cancel all of our other projects. We're gonna go full speed ahead on the Jaguar. I mean, I guess it kind of made sense from the roots as a game company, but they were doing okay with computers, and they probably could have done a bit. And they probably could have hung on maybe at least a couple years more, if they had released higher powered, like the Falcon and stuff, but... yeah, it was basically just like Atari Corp trying to figure out, oh yeah. Yeah, I think I've seen, some of this stuff right there, yeah. Yeah, that's the problem, is the Jaguar, like, it was just not gonna last that long anyway. Like, even the Amiga CD32, which had the Amiga backing behind it, and did surprisingly well in the UK during its first run, just wasn't gonna last too long, because eventually there would be 3D systems that does everything it does better. And that stuff. It was also, like, pretty much the final nail in the Commodore International coffin. Because at that point, they can no longer pay the patent troll for, like, that matrix drawing. I don't remember what the exact technique was, but... There was some patent troll that basically prevented them from being able to actually distribute the CD32 in the US. But it was able to be distributed in Canada, and some of those machines following Commodore's demise were actually converted into remote banking machines by a British Columbia-based bank, which is just really interesting. It's like probably like the best chance of actually getting an NTSC system. Oh wow, yeah. I mean, when you're a kid and you don't have much else to play and you don't have much, you know, knowledge of games, like, anything is gonna seem good. Like, Blazing Shovelware is just gonna seem good because the gameplay is okay and you like whatever movie it's based on, you know? You get the point there. I think we were talking a bit about this in Dot's chat at one point. That, yeah, when you're a kid, you just don't really... And this boss is, well, pretty much the same as in... Only with a bit more pinball elements to prevent you from easily cheesing it. Although I guess you could stand on there and try to... Yeah. Robotnik, where are you? Okay, there you are. Yeah, like, I mean, I know, there were also some that I definitely knew were bad, but... I'm trying to remember if there was, like, any particular game that, like, I thought, oh, game was horrible, but I knew which games were good, at least. Like, especially for talking about, GPA games and stuff, you know? I knew that Fire Emblem and, like, Mario and Advance Wars were, like, and Sonic were, like, the best games there, and... It wasn't gonna bother with some of the other stuff as much. Yeah, Star Wars Episode 2 doesn't seem like a good game. Though honestly, Star Wars Episode 3, that just reminds me. Like, that's definitely a game I want to try at some point. I think I saw someone playing the DS version of it at one point. Oops. And you can even start right from the act, which is good. But yeah, like the 3D Star Wars Episode 3 was interesting. Like, it's kind of just a 3D hack and slash. It's like, it's certainly not gonna be Bayonetta, that's for sure, but it might be alright. But then the Episode 3 is like a 2D beat 'em up. And that one and surprisingly, the TMNT one based on that, like, awful 2007 film, are considered, like, good license beat-em-ups on there. And I know there's also, like, the DS version of Episode 3 is the same thing as the GBA version, just that it adds in some 3D light or turret sections or something. But otherwise, it also has the same 2D beat-em-up ones. So that would certainly be interesting to try at some point. There's no that with Star Wars games, like the actual movie tie-ins are not quite as good as, you know, the other stuff, which makes sense because those other stuff has more time. Although it's ironic that even the very first Star Wars game was released 2 years after the movie. Empire Strikes Back on the 2600. It's released 2 years after the movie because, well. Guess I couldn't really have anything ready, certainly not for 1980 or 1981. Although, to be fair, I don't even know, like, how that worked out, like... Star Wars is still pretty big around 1980, 1981, but maybe it was, like, later on where they realized, oh, we actually want to make Star Wars games, because they're also working on the arcade game, although that was part of just their general 3D game journey that eventually resulted in hard driving. Found a cabinet at that Galloping Ghost. It's not that great, honestly. But I think it was mostly just impressive graphics for the time. See if I can not get hit here. That would be very important. Nope. Okay. But also that other very experimental 3D game, iRobot, was released in 1983, 1984. It was like the first game to use only 3D graphics. There is one other game released around the time that has polygons. Yes, you're a very cute robot, Lenalia. Right, now you're distracting me from my train of thought. Hold on. Oh, yeah. So there is this other game, this Laserdisc game called Cube Quest, which has pre-rendered backgrounds, basically. Like, it has actual CGI backgrounds done by actual special effects artists. But iRobot was just entirely made up of polygons. But it didn't sell very well, both because the hardware itself was unreliable, and because the game was just kind of difficult to understand for people. And that wasn't helped by the fact that it had a doodle mode where you could just play around with 3D objects. But people were like thinking that at the time that was just a waste of money. Just spend 3 minutes doing that rather than actually, you know, playing a game. I want to pet the cute robot too, but I can't because this model doesn't allow me to pet. Oh right, you just go down here. And like, not just the fact that they needed all sorts of custom chips at the time, because like, later 3D games, I think both from Atari and from other companies, like around that time, like Namco. I'm trying to figure out where this song's from. Oh, here we go. Okay, it's Mushroom Hill. Used a Texas Instruments digital signal processor. Oh. But that, you know, wasn't available at that time, or if it was, it would have been very expensive, so they used a lot of custom chips. That certainly made it unreliable. And then the joystick itself is actually what's known as a Hall effect joystick, where instead of having physical contacts, it uses magnetic currents. Basically, if you put magnets close enough to each other, it generates an electric current and stuff. Nowadays, if you've seen like an optical keyboard, like sometimes they work with a very similar principle to that. And there were keyboards even like back then for, you know, very reliable industrial applications that use that kind of technology. But the problem is, their first iteration just wasn't very good, and it was a very late addition to the game, so that just meant that the joystick itself would often break. So arcade owners, between just the high price and the unreliable machines, really did not like it, so not many cabinets of it were sold, and then people just weren't that enthused either, so... It remains rather obscure, but interesting for its technical capabilities. And yeah, now getting slightly more on topic to where I was there, so like Atari's ideas, some of Atari's ideas with vector graphics resulted in games like Battlezone, which honestly is great. Lenalia knows, I tried it recently at the Yestercade in Somerset, New Jersey, which has like the full scope and everything. And that one looks great. Like, just the vector design looks great. The game itself plays very nicely. I was able to get like, I think like 28,000 points or something on there, which was the high score in that local machine. Certainly not going to beat any Mark World records, but, you know. And then Star Wars Arcade was also kind of from that project. I'm not sure of, like, when officially Atari decided, oh yeah, we should make Star Wars games, because that would be good, but... It did. And now I have to... Yeah, it really was. I'm honestly, I don't want to, like, shock myself too much by gushing about it, but I very much enjoyed that. And I just brought that up because that was one of the machines there that I played, was both in that time and on the earlier time where I was trying it out at... Oh. Okay, I guess these piranhas are a bit different. They don't just suck your rings away, they just hit you. And hey, the drowning music's there. Yeah, like, the 2600 also had a version of Star Wars Arcade, but that one... I'm not sure how well that plays. Although, that just reminds me, the Sharp X68000 has a game called Star Wars Attack on the Death Star, which is loosely based on the arcade game. Like, it was kind of a new game built from the ground up that features some of the aesthetics. Okay. There we go. Might as well get that too. That was like about the closest you could probably get to an actual port of the arcade game until the Rogue Squadron series included it. Oh hey, our boss fight is Knuckles. Oh, hello, Lalamit. Welcome. Sorry. I'm gonna catch up on chat a bit while I wait for Knuckles to glide. There we go. I'm out of rings. Yeah, you can't just spin dash into him. Oh, okay. Somehow I hit the wrong side. And hello, Gold Lightning. Welcome. Yes, we have use of that emote now. That was, Knuckles. Yes, Knuckles and Knuckles and Knuckles, Knuckles. Yeah, sorry I'm gonna throw off for them because of the music and stuff, but I know exactly what you're talking about. I mean, I guess you could, yeah, you could just bounce on his head also. Oh! Yeah, there we go. Oh. I keep on overshooting him, though. Oh, okay. I that was my fault. I ran into his Knuckles, but okay. Yeah, the continue system is nice. Certainly, I shouldn't have done that here, but certainly better than Sonic 1 and 2. You can earn continues in the special stages, but I guess that doesn't really do much besides for... I have to say, does the score even matter in this game? I don't know. Star Wars Attack on the Death Star on the X68000 is an interesting game. Because it also feels like it, in a way, incorporates like some of the elements that would later be added to the X-Wing and the Rogue Squadron series. And even like the later Star Wars Sega rail shooters, like the Model 1 arcade game that was released on 32X, and the Star Wars Trilogy arcade, a game I've played quite a bit in various places, even if I've never been particularly good at it. Let's fall down here. It also actually has music arranged by Yuzo Koshiro, of all people, because he was friends with the lead developer of that game. M&M Software, which would eventually reform as Mindscape later on. And the funny thing about that game is that, like, that game wasn't officially, like, commissioned by LucasArts or anything. M&M Software wanted to start work on the game, and then eventually just, like, approached LucasArts to get the license, showed them a sample of the game, and they were impressed enough that they decided to just grant it anyway. I find that interesting. I think there was a sort of official Star Wars arcade port. Yeah, I should get that. On the PC-98, but I don't know how that one plays. I don't think that's the same as the X68000. I think that's more just straight up based on the original arcade version. Okay. Here we go, Knuckles, once again. It's time for you to say, oh no, except not really, because the sound chip isn't good enough for that. Wow, he seems to be quite generous now with all that gliding. Yeah, that's the only problem there. If I try to land, sometimes I end up overshooting. Or he just ends up jumping. But hey, we knocked the Chaos Emerald out of him. Sonic, are you gonna get that Chaos Emerald? Oh, nice! It actually plays the Knuckles theme from original Sonic 3. But nope, Robotnik's gonna steal it. Because of course he tricked Knuckles again. As always. Oh, Knuckles. Hello, Strawbros! Welcome! It's good to see you here. Honestly, I should probably... And hold on, I should do a shout out. Yeah, Sonic Pocket Adventure has been good so far, but... He is another cute cat who plays retro games, so... Yeah, if you like the kind of things I play, you'll very much like what Strawbros plays, so be sure to check her out. Also, I believe this is one of the Sonic 3 Knuckles multiplayer songs here, but yeah, this is basically Sky Chase Zone. We got punched right up onto there. Yeah, okay, yes, this is Azure Lake from Sky Chase, from Sonic 3 Knuckles multiplayer. There are some, like, weird song decisions in the game, but this one's a nice one. Yeah, now I know what you're talking about. Oh, I guess I have to bounce on that enemy if I actually wanted that puzzle piece. Yeah, this game plays nicely. Honestly, I really enjoy the first Advance game a lot. Like, I think it is basically like this, just, you know, with new level design and stuff, but it still mostly stays true, at least if you're playing as Sonic or Tails or Knuckles. If you're playing as Amy, then, yeah, you have a bit of a different experience there, but otherwise it plays pretty similar to the classic games. You got some nice levels and stuff. Yeah, there we go. You just gotta bounce off to get those puzzle pieces. Sonic Advance 2 and 3 start adding in some of their own elements that just don't quite work out as well. So, I don't think those are as good. But I don't remember... Yeah, okay, now this one actually plays... You'd think it would play like Flying Battery, but this is playing the Death Egg theme, which is interesting. But I don't remember them not particularly playing smoothly. It's more of like level design and boss design decisions that I don't like about the later Advanced games. Yeah, okay, you can still cheese it, even though this is a bit of a go, or do you have to actually, are you meant to go the other way? Okay, yeah, I guess you are meant to go this way. Oh, you can't go through. Nope. Oh, okay. Gotta be careful here. Fortunately, the precise platforming control isn't the best, at least from what I've played. And I don't think the circular Neo Geo Pocket Color joystick would actually help in that case. It is a very good joystick, but it was designed specifically with fighting games in mind. Go up. Hey. Can I just go through? Oh no, I don't. Okay. Yeah, I realized I missed that too late. Okay, let's try... see if we can cheese it again. Yeah, you're right. I know what you're talking about, Gold Lightning, and we're gonna get there, hopefully soon. Because for some reason, yeah, they switched that music track with a different one. Jump up here, I just don't know. Maybe this is just for getting secrets, I don't know. Oh no, you can actually... No, you can't. You can't go out there, unfortunately. Yeah, I think we have to play this legit. Yeah, okay, that lightning... Not that lightning, that fire is gonna hurt you, so you gotta really time, and then that happens. Come on. Why would you do that? Yeah, let's just go from here. Okay, that's how you get up there. You don't actually need to do anything else. Okay. I mean, if you thought I can jump pretty far, I just don't necessarily trust. Well, not with the fire. Oh, come on! Why would you do that? Okay, that's rude. So, it gets a bit used to with the camera just suddenly moving left and right. Which just let you see farther into the level, but it just take a bit of getting used to, especially if you are facing the other direction. That you kind of need to wait. Nope. Okay. What's next? At least these platforms are big. Okay. There's also like somewhere you can damage boosts in Sonic 2, but I don't trust necessarily that that's gonna work here. Okay, so I think here was the place with the steering platform. Unfortunately. I do have a checkpoint, but that's not gonna do good if that's where we're gonna die. Yeah. Okay, at least this timing isn't quite as screwed because the one you need to go to next pops out before the one you don't. Like, okay, I think what I was trying to say there is like, okay. Hope I could find rings though. Yes. Oh no, I thought to say yes I can, but I have to actually go down here first. Okay. Is that like when you're waiting on one platform, the next platform that you want to go to is going to pop out first before the one you are standing on, so that helps things quite a bit. I'm not getting that speed shoot. I might as well go this way and see what's over here. Most. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I don't want to go there. Oh, oops. Oh, nice shield. Haven't seen one of those in a while. Oh, hi, Nicole. Welcome. I hope you're doing well today. I'm sorry. I was focusing on this level, and so I wasn't paying attention to chat. Because this is the Wing Fortress zone of this game, quite literally. But it's called Aero Base. Hope you're doing well tonight. No. Oh. That's not actually a gap. Certainly been enjoying this game. Oh no. No. Wait, did I go all the way back? I sure hope I didn't. We have a checkpoint at least here, so if I can get on the next life. Maybe I can see where we're going. Is there anything this way? Particularly. Nope. And here's just a bunch of rings. Oh no, we can't quite go there yet. What happens if I keep on trying to go up? You just get a puzzle piece. Okay. Maybe there's something over here, though. Yeah? Okay, I saw a platform come up. Okay, looks like this is, okay. Yeah, this is definitely just as frustrating as the original Wing Fortress. That's for sure. I don't think, like, the level design certainly hasn't been exact, but they have incorporated all the elements and gimmicks and stuff that you would expect. Oh, not quite. Oh, I guess we could try to go up there. Yeah. Why did he have to fall right? Why did he have to switch right when the other one does? Might be a better way up. Nope. Maybe they're all just set to a timer, but I don't know what the timer is yet. Okay. You! This is getting near the end. Gotta be a... Okay, there we go. Yep, okay. Yeah, for whatever reason, not only did we fight Silver... Sonic, who apparently I'm just teasing now. Of course, where it's also playing the Doomsday Zone music, which is really weird. But having rings really makes that fight a lot easier than it was in Sonic 2. So... Also, since Sonic got through Act 2, even though there was just one act in that level. Now we're at Gigantic Angel, which kind of looks like Metropolis Zone. Well, yeah, mostly Metropolis Zone, I guess. Yeah, okay, this has all the gimmicks of Metropolis. It has a bit of some scrap brain aesthetics. Whoa. Yeah, basically. And that's probably right. There was one of the Sonic 2... I mean, it's one of the Sonic 3 multiplayer levels that was already... in an that was in an earlier zone, so it makes sense, but... Yeah, I think that was even in the Sky Chase zone. I don't remember if they called that anything else. Yeah, basically, some of these levels here definitely feel like they were precursors to Sonic Advance levels. How was Sonic Advance 1, like, right at the end, right? When he got actually onto the egg rocket? How do you have to do so many of these? Yes, Crab, I will avoid you. Those Metropolis Zone enemies aren't nearly as bad when you actually just... Yeah, okay. Now I'm remembering. But those Metropolis Zone enemies aren't nearly as bad when you don't have to fight them in extremely cramped corridors. I'm just gonna skip it and go to this. And, okay, that's... Oh, okay. We actually don't need to go here at all. Okay, let's see... Oop. Well, I found the secret at least. Oh, okay, I see why they... Oh, with Tails there, I don't think that Asteron is quite as annoying. Because, yeah, these enemies are some of the worst in Sonic 2, but specifically because they just put them in really bad spots. Especially, oops. Fell in there and got crushed. Fortunately, I could just start back from, this zone again. Okay, I guess this is, yeah, this is where you end up on the other side. Or not! That's, turns out, is an actual way to continue. Thing. Okay, yeah, now I remember this part. Oh. Get back up. I mean, kinda? Yeah. Okay. These tunnels also were in Sonic 2. You can sometimes just break them if you were supersonic. Oh right, okay. We actually want to go the other way, I think. Or wait, no, do we? I was confusing this with a different part of the world. No, this is where we were, but you could also go down this way too, so... Oh. And yeah, that's Act 1. It honestly feels a lot better than Winged Fortress because, well, there weren't any bottomless pits at all from what I can tell. Oh nice! We got Chrome Gadget. And hey! There's Robotnik sporting his modern Sonic Adventure design. Interesting. I do like there that it's actually Eggman who's doing that. And he acts like how Knuckles would have in... over here. Bunch of rings. Yeah, but this is some very nice music. I think this one is called Chrome Gadget. Whoa. Okay, I see how they work now. That's rude. See if I can get the... Okay. Yeah. Wow. And that enemy just tried to come back, even though you don't normally do that. At least we can easily recover rings right here. Yeah, because normally those enemies, I think they're called Asterons, they stay in one place, and then that's to happen to if you get too far. Or specifically, if you're on one of those screw things that you have to run on, make them move up and down, and if Tails is not on there at the same time that you start, he will just kind of fly right to the past here, like... He will just kind of land right next to you, and kind of walk in front, back and forth, and that will almost always activate those enemies. So... Okay, I guess you can't quite reach that from here. Yeah, I can definitely tell what you mean by that. Oh. There's another way up there. Whoa! Hold on. Last Ekomiri, thank you so much for the raid. I really appreciate it. Oops, I got crushed. Hold on, it's better to pause. Yeah, Nicole was watching. And hello, Lena, welcome. There, give you a shout out. I saw you were playing Halo before. Was that what you were just playing the whole time? Oh, that's why. I did unpause it. Didn't realize that yet. Ah, okay, I see. And I'm not sure if that delayed... Wait, was that because... Oh, I don't think I... No, I don't have Streamlabs still on here, so I don't know. I heard a delayed sound effect. I don't know what that was from. I don't see anything in my chat. Okay, let's try going up this way. Yeah. Hello, Pyroclastic Surge. Welcome. This is Sonic Pocket Adventure. This was released in 1999 for the SNK Neo Geo Pocket Color as a collaboration between SNK and Sega to promote both systems there. And the Neo Geo Pocket Color is a fascinating system, so I'm going to at some point play the entire library, but yeah, I mean, this does kind of have an 8-bit look, but okay. Oh, I see what we're supposed to do. Or maybe we can just wait for him. Oh, not quite. Yeah, okay. Or you can just wait for him to dip downwards. I see. So you got two options in terms of hitting him. And by the way, even though, yeah, it is just like the boss from Hydro City Zone. But this is technically a 16-bit system, at least according to SNK's own specs. I think it uses either a custom or a pretty obscure Toshiba microprocessor. So it might actually be 16-bit. Whoa, I just kind of stood on there. I'm trying to time everything in this one, that's really annoying. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Yeah, but the sound itself is not actually also not like the SN kind of chip. Yeah, you can stand on there. In Hydro City Zone in Sonic 3, it works the exact same way. Where you can be propped up by the explosions in the water. But then, he'll also occasionally just drop down, like you saw. But unfortunately, you can get hit by the bomb itself. And by the little, bullets that he fires. So trying to time everything can be a bit tricky. I like that one where you just get caught by the splash of the explosion and not the actual... That's okay, as long as I have at least one ring, I should be fine. Yeah, that's true, basically. Like, like, the CPU might have been 16-bit, and they might have, okay, great, now I'm gonna have to do this, level again, but... Yes, like, the way the PC Engine was, technically 8-bit CPU and 16-bit graphics chips, so... And then if you're going by graphics chips, then the Xbox would be 128-bit. But really, it had a 32-bit processor, just like the PS2 and the GameCube also did, to my knowledge. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there was any commercial 64-bit power PC later on. Yeah, I just like Hydro City. I've heard that before. I just still like calling it Hydro City, so. Got one. Or even the Dreamcast. It used a 32-bit Hitachi SH4, but the graphics chip was 128-bit, so they called it a 128-bit system. And then that kind of stopped. Oops, okay. I think that's happened to me before. Crushing, it seems, is really a problem in this game. Oh, no. Oh, no. Wow. Either I had a lot of iframes, or I could somehow just keep them going for a lot longer than you'd think. But yeah, I think by the time the Xbox and GameCube actually hit the market, bits kind of stopped appearing in advertising and stuff, and people were more focused on graphics and, well, processing power. Especially given some of the rumors that people had about the PlayStation 2 back then. Which weren't entirely unfounded, because back then, a supercomputer was defined as any machine with raw processing power of at least 1 gigaflop. So... the PlayStation 2 could do that. The Power Mac G4, with its vector graphics unit, I don't remember what they called it, like... AltaVec engine, whatever they ended up calling that. Oh no, that happened again. Okay. Yeah, I think I'll just restart. that was... Yeah, I remember GBA having 32 bits, but... Basically, because of the raw processing power of the PowerMac G4 was over 1 gigaflop, actually banned for export to certain countries because they feared, because back then basically the US just didn't want people exporting supercomputers there, so they had like a whole commercial of, oh, the computer's so good, it's illegal, and they had like a whole bunch of tanks just surrounding it at the, you know, the small graphite tower. Yeah. But then it did also pop up when the PlayStation 2 there, because people somehow feared that certain dictators were taking a whole bunch of them and making missile guidance systems right out of them, which is not the most practical way to use a bunch of PS2s anyway. But I guess they needed someone to blame for all the shortages in Holiday 2000. Okay, oh no, this enemy has come back. But, okay. And yeah, the GBA was also marketed as 32-bit, because, you know, in the handheld space, that was definitely new. Well, it did have a 32-bit ARM 7s. That was well-deserved, although... In fact, it could do some 3D stuff, which is interesting, although the, I think really the limited resolution, more so than the performance sometimes, would adversely affect 3D games on the GBA. That could get handled a lot, you just weren't gonna get a whole lot anyway, just because of that 194 by 160 or whatever it is. I don't remember the exact resolution, but it has a 3:2 aspect ratio. Okay, I see. Which was also something that was quite different. Like, as you can see by this handheld, this aspect ratio is definitely not 4:3. Like, it's definitely smaller. I don't know what the exact one is. I'd have to look that up, but... And certainly the Game Boy was like 10:9 or something very close to being square. And the GBA was pretty widescreen, and then the DS, they just went to 4:3 for both screens. Even though, like, when I played GBA games on the DS, I always thought that they... Like, I always thought that they looked better just because the screen was bigger. Like, even though you weren't getting the correct aspect ratio. Okay, that does come back. Yeah, like, I don't think the screen resolution is really a problem, and it isn't even a problem for, like, Metal Slug or some of the other platformers I've played. It's just something that was definitely true of pretty much every handheld back then, is that they had non-standard aspect ratios, and many of them were squarer than 4:3 even. A lot of later handhelds go to that before widescreen became, like, the only thing. Yeah, I think that was one of the biggest knocks against the Neo Geo Pocket Color, certainly back then and now. It's just the lack of any backlight. Like, I guess it's not quite, you know, original GBA bad. I think that one also had a Toshiba screen, though. It's interesting. Maybe it was Sharp. No, I think it was Toshiba. Like, some company that, like, normally makes good screens. Just for whatever reason, they just made a very dim screen for the original GBA. Like, but the only time I really remember seeing much of one... There we go. Was in my school, which had very big windows. Okay, there we go. Oh no, this one is not. But I am very happy with my AGS 101 GBA SP that I have. Okay, this looks like a possible way to progress. Yeah. And I also do remember someone who had a Game Boy Color, and she had a worm light. Like one of those kind of worm light things for it, where you plug it into the back there. Okay, they were by Sharp. Okay, I figured it was like one of those two companies that normally is known for pretty good screens in general. Oh, okay. That's interesting, Fel. I didn't know that, but... But yeah, the AGS 101, meanwhile, is just nice and bright and very sharp pixels, too. Yeah, I don't think I've heard that anywhere. Oh no, okay. At least I've got more lives now, so... Oh, interesting, yeah. I mean, I have my... Like, you wouldn't be able to see it, especially because I don't have any other webcams, and I wouldn't want to turn one on even if I did. But I do have my AGS 101 SP. Okay. 2 hits down. Oh. He swooped there. Yeah, like... And honestly, I don't want to do anything to my SP, but... I am thinking at some point, like, if I ever do want to collect more systems, to mod an IPS backlit screen into an original GBA, so you could have that form factor and the built-in headphone jack. Whoa. Slow down there. But yeah, there are like some things that just have too much sentimental value for me to ever want to tinker with. And my GBA SP is one of them, along with my copy of Pokemon Emerald for it, even though, yeah, like I can tell that with the palettes. I mean, there are a lot of GBA games that I think do look good, but I know what you're saying there. But my copy of Pokemon Emerald, unfortunately, its real-time clock battery no longer works. Even though the game itself runs fine, it still has my original save and everything. But not... And you could replace that battery, I just... don't want to risk it. And that cartridge, even loose, doesn't go. Although I wish I'd kept that box there. Oh. Oh, okay. And if you'll notice, by the way... Oop. Yeah, got big arms. Do you start with no rings if you... No, you do get rings, okay. He is carrying a Chaos Emerald. If you do want to actually reach the last zone, like the, you know, true final boss, Doomsday. Okay, yeah, you have to hit it from the bottom there. No! Oh. You do have to knock the Chaos Emerald off of him, and then that's how you pick it up. Hello, Sass. Welcome. You're doing well today. Okay, how do you actually hit him? I guess I have to... Yeah. No, no, no! Now I'm gonna die. Great. This does kind of feel like a precursor to the final boss of Sonic Advance, which is just kind of that cylindrical, but also like a small cylindrical ship that did some like attacks like that. Okay, right, don't... Knocked my ring off screen, that's rude. No, Okay, don't jump into him right away. Wait for him. Oh, I missed my hitbox there. But yeah, at least getting unlimited tries certainly makes this easier. I don't feel too bad when I mess up because it isn't that far. Okay, I'm gonna actually wait for an attack now. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. That attack always makes me lose my ring off screen. And then that happens because I'm somehow not able to bounce off it in time. Okay, that's how you do that one. Oh, wow! Wow! That attack really helped me. And so Robotnik falls back to the earth. And yeah, that's Sonic Pocket Adventure. Pretty much. I mean, we'll check out the puzzle stuff, but... The only other thing I could do is if I actually collected all the Chaos Emeralds. I can't really do that in this game because these are really memorization heavy. So yeah, Sonic Pocket Adventure is honestly, it's a very enjoyable game. Like, at least if you do enjoy the classic Sonic games. This plays pretty much like those. It's got levels very similar to Sonic 2, obviously down to the aesthetics and gimmicks and stuff, but with different layouts. And you've got some music from Sonic 3 and a couple other places in there, so... Yeah. Yes, Lenalia, you can pet the Pocket Adventure. Fortunately, that does mean I'm not sure what I want to do for the rest of the stream. I'm thinking I will see... you know what, actually, if anyone has any suggestions for Neo Geo Pocket Color games, like, I won't do, like, the full playthrough documentation thing, now, but if you do have anything else, just quickly that I can play, so I could fill out at least 2 hours, that would be appreciated. Otherwise, I might just put on Metal Slug or something. Well, in the meantime, I do need a drink. Okay, Gals Fighters and Biomotor Unitron. Okay. I will keep those in mind. Yeah, And yes, he is telling us to get more Chaos Emerald. Just the one. Even though, you know, there are 6 other ones that we also need to get. As you see, yeah, these are all the puzzle pieces. So yeah, if you get more of these puzzle pieces, you can eventually use that to build and view all of your... Yeah, it's a nice little diversion, and SNK honestly themselves would include like a whole bunch of puzzle minigames in their Dreamcast King of Fighters releases. So... Just check out Trial Room quickly. I think it's just a time trial, but I've never actually tried it myself. Oh. You have 5 letters, which is weirdly arbitrary, but sometimes that's the way it be in, Yeah, so this is just a time trial. Okay. You know what, I'm gonna leave you with this music while I quickly get a drink, and then we will be playing some Gals Fighters. So I hope to see you soon. Alright, I'm back, and I decided to make the wise decision of actually bringing up a water bottle this time, because I really should have done that a long time ago in terms of my streams, but oh well. So let us now load up, I just did talk adventure. Okay, yeah, SNK's Gals Fighter. So this is built on the same fighting game engine that powers the King of Fighters games and SNK vs. Capcom. Very nice and fluid. And yeah, this is based on the this features several female fighters from around SNK, so the mysterious final boss. I wonder who that could be. Game option, level 3. Yeah. So we got several fighters. So we got Mai from Fatal Fury in the King of Fighters series, Yuri from Art of Fighting in the King of Fighters, Athena from originally from Psycho Soldier and then later part of the King of Fighters series, Leona, who actually first appeared in the King of Fighters series, as well as several unlockable characters, Nakaruru from Samurai Showdown, Shermie from King of Fighters, Shiki from Samurai Showdown, and Akari from The Last Blade. So I think I'm gonna play as Athena. Yes, you can at the bio screen. So yeah, as you can see, the sprites are basically one color plus black and white and transparent, so yeah, like the monochromatic there. Also, because this used 2 buttons, you hold down the button to execute a stronger attack. Like there I have the shorter teleport, and then now I have the larger one if I hold it down. Or like here, where I just got the smaller Phoenix arrow. If I hold the button down, I do the larger one. Also, you notice the game does have a bit of a humorous tone to it, so sometimes the characters do actually... Oh, I think I did a psycho shoot there. Especially with Athena, given the fact that she can canonically just change outfits whenever. Yeah, okay, there we go. That's Showtime. I'm wondering what that actually does. Almost like Lilith from Darkstalkers. Ah, I see. It's basically a command grab. But also, as mentioned earlier in the stream, the controller had a sort of thumbstick that made it a lot easier to do circular motions, so... Okay, I don't remember what her super is, though. Well, not that. Like, half circle back, kick, yeah. That's one of them, at least. Oh. And yes, you can get items if you want to make it even easier. So now we fight Shermie. Yeah, that is nice. Because here it definitely feels like they took some inspiration from, like, KOF 99 and 2000, rather than necessarily some of the... Well, a lot of the Match of the Millennium actually feels a bit almost like they're 97 or 98. Like, the music itself, usually for, like, King of Fighters, was taken right out of 97, and then some of it was from 98. Well, like, at least the stuff that was in 97 actually was also in Match of the Millennium, but... Yeah, this engine honestly does feel, this might actually be like the smoothest fighter, but also is one of the latest. Oh, nice. I didn't know you could do that. I think Dan has like a similar move in Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, where like you could just... Oh yeah, by the way, I think Shiki was originally from the Samurai Showdown 64 game. So on the Hyper Neo Geo 64. You could ask Nicole if you want to know more about that specifically. She actually has one of those boards. Pretty rare. And only some of their games were actually ported to other consoles. Like Fatal Fury, Wild Ambition I think it was called, was ported. But I'm not sure about the other ones. But, oh, I didn't realize she was stunned there. But yeah, oops. But yeah, Dan in Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter does have an attack where he just signs an autograph and throws it at you. In fact, I'm not even sure how I did that one, but... the game certainly has a humorous tone for that. Oh wow, that's interesting. Yeah, I certainly wish I was able to buy things at times like those. Not like now when everything's super expensive. Although, one of my dreams actually was one point, like, it was a few years ago. It wasn't even like at the beginning of, you know, the retro game craze. It was pretty well into it. Things were already expensive, fairly expensive, not as much as they are now, but I saw a JVC XI with a copy of Snatcher for $600, just combined. And like, Snatcher alone costs that much at that point, so... It would have been a great deal if I actually would have had that money to blow on it. No, there doesn't seem to be any... Oh, interesting. Yeah, I wasn't sure about that. Well, I guess that would make sense since they already got a Sprite for Shiki. Thinking from that, because everything else is probably... Although Athena's design is original here, but I think all these other characters already appeared in other games on the system, certainly. Because there's also, I know there were Last Blade games on the, Neo Geo Pocket Color. There was a single Fatal Fury game based on Real Bout 2. There's 2 Samurai Showdown games, 2 KOF games based on 97 and 98. And were there 2 Last Blade games or just 1? I'm not sure if both or just 1 got ported. Okay, there was just 1 Last Blade game. I kind of wish there was a, second, like, maybe if the system and SNK had survived long enough, we would have gotten a Fatal Fury second, contact based on Garo. That would have been really interesting. And then, of course, there's SNK vs. Capcom Match of the Millennium. That was released around 1999-2000, the same time that, like, the first DBS game came out on Dreamcast. And then there were the Card Fighter spin-offs, which I do want to play. Like, that's definitely gonna be a big part of this retrospective. Because the Card Fighter game seemed interesting, and I did love the Pokemon trading card game on the Game Boy Color. In fact, I still have it also. My copy of that is like one of the few working ones that I have. Ah, yes. Just call in an airstrike from your dad, probably. Yeah, I did know about Garo being in development. I've also heard a rumor that they already were planning King of Fighters 2001 that would have returned to 3-on-3 teams rather than the striker system they had. And the hero team would have added a revived Chrysalid, who is now seeking revenge against Nest. And like, none of that makes sense if you don't know anything about the King of Fighters games from that era, so I'm sorry, but... The thing is, I don't remember where I read about it, and I'm not sure how much evidence exists. But given the fact that SNK initially thought they might have been able to survive the bankruptcy with the Aruz deal, I wouldn't have been surprised if they had started planning something like that before they just weren't actually, before Aruz decided to just not hold up their end of the bargain and sell off the IPs, or well, contract out the IPs. And I definitely will talk a bit more about that whole story, eventually when I get to the pachinko game, because yes, Ruse is the company behind those. Oh. Whoa. You got me there. Of course, I imagine for like sports games or casino games, I won't be playing or mahjong. I won't be playing those for too long. Like sometimes it might even just be like, okay, here's 10 minutes to see what's actually in this game, and then it'll be that. I also like, since there are some RPGs that have multiple versions, my plan for those is to not play them back to back. So like, play one of them. Oh no, I actually got beaten this time. You could just use one of your friends as a dummy, yeah. There are just a lot of interesting moves there. In fact, like, even Akari's, like, little, you know, purifying wand she's carrying just turns into a whole bunch of things. There we go, just chip you out there. Interesting, I don't know. Okay, there we go. Only remember how to do that. For some reason, double quarter circle forward wasn't always working. Huh. Oh. Or you can really put the pressure on you. Fortunately, you just gotta bait out the attacks. Here's one of the characters that wasn't initially selectable. It's Whip from KOF 99. Isn't it? Because, yeah, she also would have had to have been originally created for this game, because there was no port of KOF 99 to this, just 97 and 98 as R1 and R2, respectively. Whip I know is a character that actually did get slightly censored in some of the official, like in the full Neo Geo games. Because sometimes she has a gun in some of her supers and they just straight out took out that hit. Okay, no, she has the gun still in this game, and she can apparently just take it out and use it. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised also if they decided to make an R3 based on 99 or 2000. Which those games, they would eventually sort of make games based on those for the Game Boy Advance, and strangely enough, the Nokia N-Gage, despite the fact that that's probably like the worst platform you can put a fighting game on at the time, because of the control scheme and the squished vertical aspect ratio. But, you know, they did that apparently. They had a port of EX2 Howling Blood on there. Yeah, you're just much better off playing the GBA version of that one. Yes, I guess you... Well, you didn't do 236 on the actual phone keypad, though. You did it on the D-pad here. And yes, here is the final boss. The mysterious Miss X. And yeah, you can kind of tell already who Miss X is based on the fighters there in the background. They're mature and vice from KOF 96 on the left, and on the right there is Billy and AG, who are originally from Fatal Fury and Art of Fighting respectively, but also we're on a particular rival team in KOF 95 with a certain popular character. Yeah. It's quite obvious this is just Iori Yagami. I'm not even gonna pretend anymore. In fact, Miss X has all these same moves that Iori does in the actual... Oh wait, I'm doing the button. There we go. Also appears to fight in Krauser's castle, which was used in Master of the Millennium as like the semi-final or final round, so... Whoa, that's a nice combo there. Just managing to hit confirm. Don't remember what that one is called. All of Iori's supers, the names are all based on like myths from the Yamata no Orochi, which is what the Orochi power is based on. And the whole lore in the original King of Fighters games involved having to end up actually beating the new manifestation of the Orochi in the end. Yeah, that's true. Like, it does look different, but you can definitely see the inspiration that it is Krauser's castle. Only without the orchestra playing in the background. I guess the Iori can't quite afford that. Whoa! Managed to counter. But still no big deal. My horoscope. Yes, Athena, who has gotten different outfits and hairstyles over the years, apparently just used the talisman to wish for long hair. And now her manager doesn't want that. Yeah, I mean, that would make sense given the control. Like, even with a good controller, it's kind of understandable with this game that they would be a bit more generous there. And I got some portraits, so sometimes of just teams where the characters originally appeared in. I mean, I certainly would like them long hair and just wish for that, although I didn't. Put a bit more in there as well, let's just say. I think you can know why. Hey, Vice and Mature are wearing those same outfits that Miss X was wearing. Okay, let's just see any other if I can. Oh, I didn't actually unlock anyone yet. That's weird. Yeah, I also have. Any other characters who actually know how to play? Fortunately, I don't know how to play Shermie. I try Yuri. Yeah, I Oh yeah, she has that move. I just find them using, just charges up a massive punch. Does have quite a bit of chip too. Yeah, I don't know which characters you specifically unlock, besides for Whip, obviously, because she was featured. She was actually fought in the game. Okay, so she just had big fireball super. I didn't mean to do that, but I think... Oh, nice! You actually get, like, portraits there. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah. Yes, you can unlock Kyo's girlfriend from the visual novel. Yes, there's a visual novel spin-off of the King of Fighters. Kyo's girlfriend appears. And, maybe it's just double quarter circle forward? No, that doesn't seem to be working. Maybe it's... Well, that didn't... I also wish I knew how to do her, Oh, nice. You do quarter... Her dunk is literally just taking out a giant hammer. See if I can... Nope. Yeah, also, Fel, is your suggestion an RPG? Because that's gonna be, like, too long to play tonight, honestly. Because that's kind of why I wanted to do another, round of this game. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, sorry. It's just too much to play in like a half hour or so. Oh, okay. I should maybe look up a move list at some point. Maybe I should have done that on my break, but... Ah, okay, yeah. Yeah, so I might be able to do in like a session or two, but... Certainly, later, once I actually get this project going, maybe can figure that a bit more. Also, if I don't know what I'm doing, I sometimes tend to explore around or get lost a bit, so... Okay. Oh, I see. Yeah, certainly more creative of them than some of the other games. Although people seem to like Dragon Warrior Monsters, which basically. Yeah, we weren't gonna fall for it twice. Yeah, like I'm saying, I guess both Dragon Quest and Shin Megami Tensei can both claim that they did the gameplay style before Pokemon, so it wouldn't necessarily be fair. But I know there's at least one other RPG that also, on the system, that also did the multiple versions thing. So I like that this amusement park is Neo Geo World. Yeah, I was thinking of the Diver submarine game. There also is the Card Fighter Clash. Which I think lets you choose a different deck. Pause. There we go. Wow, even speaking of Dan, apparently acting like him in a way, trying to get a disciple. Like Dan's story in Gem Fighter is just him trying to find a new student, so he finds Sakura and then she teaches her, and then that doesn't really amount to much after. You know what, I actually sort of know how to play Mai, but not really, I don't. Oh, didn't quite get the proper hit confirm there, so. Oh, that wasn't actually the super that I wanted to do. Oh, close. Ah, hello, giant robots. Welcome. You're doing well tonight. Yeah, this is a good game. I mean, I was just doing this to kind of start with some Neo Geo Pocket Color stuff. Actually, because it was Sonic Tuesday, so I wanted to play something Sonic 2 related, and well, we already played Sonic 2, so this is the closest thing. By the way, is it fine if I call you Luna here, or do you want to just still be referred to as giant robots? Either way is fine by me, certainly. Wow, somehow got the full hit confirm there. Even though it didn't actually. But yeah, this is a very good game, especially because it's on like probably the most mature iteration of their fighting game engine that started way back on the black and white system with like KOF R1 and stuff, so feels very nice, smooth, button inputs are easy. I mean, they certainly developed a system to play fighting games, and they definitely succeeded at that. Oh, okay then. That sounds good. Yeah, I also just love all the goofy animations and stuff. Like, we were playing as Athena before, and she has like this Showtime attack where she just like traps you and then puts on a bunny suit and a magician hat. And then here, if you do her dunk attack, she just pulls out a giant hammer. Doesn't seem to be any way to taunt, though. Yeah, that was still gonna chip out. Oh wow, that's interesting. I'm definitely gonna have to check that one out at some point. In fact, like maybe when I actually start this for real, might be the first game I'll play. This is kind of a bonus. I will probably properly cover this one later on, but I just can't seem to actually hit confirm into that. I'm also not sure what makes her do the big one versus the whole bunch of hits. Oh right, she isn't stunned, she just randomly falls asleep. Ah, I see, yeah. Like in that part, I'd have to save that because my Japanese isn't good enough for me to necessarily get that. Like, part of the reason I want to do this in the first place, because I don't think there's quite as much documentation about all of the games. And that was inspired by a fan site I saw that unfortunately had to stop. Like, had to shut down a few years ago because the creator couldn't cover the costs, but basically documented like every single Sega game and a bunch of other ones. Like systems. Like probably the most complete documentation you have on the Saturn library, and unfortunately it's not around anymore. Oh, we got a new challenger. Oh hey, it's Yuki, yes, this is Kyo's girlfriend from the visual novel. I guess she and Whip are the two. He just has a giant no. I love it. Also, why would you want to flip a coin if you could play rock, paper, scissors instead? Yeah. He's from the visual novel King of Fighters Kyo, as it's called. There are quite a bit of spin-offs, although not really games as much. There are some games, but there are also quite a few drama CDs. Like, there are basically drama CDs just like starring the voice actors. Sometimes it'd be various skits, sometimes it'd be actual like supplemental plot material, sometimes it'd even just be those voice actors putting on songs in character. Like if you ever wanted to hear Duck King just rap, then SNK has you covered. Great. I wanted to do the super. I wanted to see if, like, images of Kyo would come up. In here. This is the other actual fighter, Whip from KOF 99, appearing. As I said before, as completely original to this game. She was not on any of the Neo Geo Pocket fighters for this. Match on Millennium does have a surprising, in terms of representative roster that goes just beyond Street Fighter and King of Fighters, which Capcom vs. SNK games are mostly that, honestly. Maybe one of them is with punches and one of them is kick? Hold on, I have to figure this out when I... Yeah, okay, one of them is with punches and one of them is with kicks. Got it. Also, I predicted you to throw, which I was able to detect that right away there. Your mind games will not work on me. 16-bit AI. My foot in the face will. Yeah, I'm guessing all the pre-fight scenes are the characters basically realizing that Miss X is in fact just Iori, and Iori desperately trying to hide it. I'm not even sure what name she said in terms of, like, if that's a reference to something specific or not. Yeah, that would certainly make sense. Every single character is like, hey, you're just Iori. And he's like, no, no, I can't. Oh. Ah, got chipped out there. Also, unlike some of the other fighters, there's no actual text that displays during the win quotes like there often is. I mean, I guess this makes sense given the game's very visual comedy style. It's just interesting. But like normally you got somewhat yeah, there you go. It shows Kyo and then also the 95 and 96 Yagami team. Yeah, it's unfortunate. We never got anything actually that. Okay, that's funny. Yeah, so, yeah, I don't think anyone really cares for SNK heroines. Yeah, I think that's just about gonna wrap us up now. This has been a nice time, and certainly do look forward to more of these streams at some point. I don't know exactly when, but at some point, maybe when I can actually get the proper layout, and stuff. I'll delve more into this and see what pretty much every game on the system is about. Okay, so that's pretty much gonna